Hey, hello guys. How are you all doing? So I just thought I should show you guys how to do this since I've been getting a lot of requests. I hope you enjoy every part of it. Thank you. Hello guys, welcome back to LittleStitch by Amara. Welcome to my channel. So today I've been getting comments like, please show us the upper part of that dress, the upper side, the upper body. So I thought I should make just a very short video about it. So I hope you enjoy every part of it. I hope you watch, follow, subscribe, and you know what I mean. So I'm gonna head now to cut out front and back piece. That would be enough for me. Since I'm not making this for somebody, I just want to use it as an illustration for the upper bodies of that video tutorial I made earlier, I think 2 months ago. So now this I'll be using the same measurement I used the last time. Sorry, when I made that video, that dress, it was already too late. I could not record. That's why I did not post the upper bodies. So now the measurement I'm working with here, the half length is 7. The half length is 7. So I went ahead to mark out 8. The other remaining 1 inch will be for the joining allowance. The shoulder is 8. So I'm going to be dividing this by 2. This is 8, 4. By the way, this is for a 1-year-old. I'm making this for. I'm using a 1-year-old's measurement. So this is, I've taken the shoulder. I'm going to come down by half an inch. This is for the shoulder slope. I'm sure you already know all of this, but let me just show you guys. I'll be using 2 by 2 for the neck width and depth. 2 by 2. If you look closely at the star, you notice the neckline is kind of like U. So now I'll just, even if you don't have a pattern like this, you can just use your hand. It is somewhat like U, a U kind of neckline. This measurement is dependent on the age you're making it for. Like I said, it is for a year old, so that's why I'm using 2 by 2. So now this is for my shoulder slope. So I'm going to come down by 4 inches. Bring down my shoulder line. Then I'm going to create something like this for the armhole. In the middle, I came in by quarter or half an inch. So I've gotten my armhole. So the next thing now is this chest measurement. Her chest measurement is 19, but I'll be rounding it up to 20. So I'll be using 5 up. The waist is equally the same, 5 down. Then I'll now add 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So I'll just go ahead now and cut this out. So after cutting out now, I'm going to go ahead now and place this on the back bodies to cut out the back part of it. Everything equal, everything the same, just that I'll be leaving 1 inch allowance for the zipper. Yeah, this is for the zipper. So I'll just go ahead now and cut out the same way, just like I did for the front side. I'll cut this out. So I'm done cutting it out. So I'll just open up and make sure that this neckline is exactly what I want. If it doesn't give me exactly the U kind of pattern I want, I'll just make sure. So I don't come down too much. You see, this is not straight like you like this. I'm going to give it a little slant here. I'm still maintaining my 2. If you like, you can come down more than 2, but I'm using 2 here because after sewing and all, it will still reduce, it will still come down more than 2. So I just want to give it that sharpness. You see, give it that sharpness because the first one looked like it had a curve here, but I just want to give it that sharp cut here. See the sharpness here. You see the way I'm cutting the neckline out. I'm not giving it you curve. I'm making it sharp. You see. So now I have something like an L shape, not curved like this. Not curved. It's L sharp. It's sharp here. So you do the same thing for the back. You see. So I'll now go ahead and cut out this for the lining. Cut the same thing for both front and back. Guys, welcome to my sewing table. So I'm just going to go ahead now and turn this with the lining. I told you I had to cut out another piece for the lining part. So I'm going to turn this now. I'll show you when I'm done. See the way I'm turning it. I'm not sewing it like normal U-neck. You see? I have to turn it like this. I'm just going to cut this out and do the same thing for the back. Then you just go ahead and give it a good notch so it can lay well. So for the sleeve area, you now decide where you want your that thing running down, where you want it to stop. It's either you measure exactly what you have here and bring it down, or you look for the midpoint here and just take out maybe 2 inches from both sides. I don't know if you get me. Okay, let me use this pattern. This is 3.5. 3.5. So I'm just going to look for the midpoint here and mark out 1.75 from both ends. This is dependent on the age you're working with. So this is the midpoint now. I'll just go back by 1.75 each. For the thing running down, just make sure you're following this line, because this is where you'll be sewing it on. Just follow this line and mark out where you want. Follow it. You follow it like this. So this is where I'll be sewing that color thing on the colored line. I'm sewing. I'll be sewing it through from here to the other side of the dress, the back side of the dress. So I'll do the same thing for the back. So I'm just going to go ahead now and join the shoulders of my dress. So I've done I guess this is the back. Okay. So like I said, the same thing here. What I did here is exactly what will happen to the back side of this dress. So it's just mark out the same line. Just follow here where this ends, or you can just start here. Make sure it is resting on this line here, down, because it's going to cover this back. Take it down. Just follow from this shoulder, because I'm going to be sewing on this shoulder. You won't see this line. Take it down. You do the same thing for the other back part. So now I'm going to go ahead and measure the length of my front and back bodice from the front to the back. Okay, what I have here is 15. So now I went ahead to cut out a long strap. If you don't have this, you can quietly make use of a bias, or maybe any of the other alternative color you can find around you that will match whatever you're sewing. So I'm going ahead to cut out 15 inches in length. So now I'm going to measure out a very long net that I'll gather. Let's say 4 inches, 5 inches, depending on how long you want your sleeve to be. I'm going to do 4 inches. I'll do 4 inches. So I'm just going to cut out a very long one, gather it. So I've gone ahead to gather my net. Remember I said 4 inches, 5 inches is okay, depending on how long you want your net to be. So after gathering here, I'll now go ahead and use this to turn the edge, this edge here where I gathered it. I'm just trimming it out so it doesn't make it too bulky enough for sewing. So just go ahead now using this to turn this. I measured 15 by 1.5 inches. This is 15 in length, 1.5 inches in width. So I'm going to use this to turn it like so. Now you're going to leave something out a little way. This will be attached to the lower side. After joining this to this, I'll now turn this over, using this to cover this. You see, I'm putting this inside. Now turn it like this and sew on. You can either sew it like this directly on the dress, or after sewing it here, you now take it to your dress and attach. Please, when you are sewing, make sure you're using a matching thread. Please. See, I'm trying to conceal these things inside. So I'll just sew like this till the end. So I'm done sewing. So you can see. So whatever you do, you're going to make this too for both sleeves. So now the next thing is to trim out. You see, if you notice the sleeve, that's how it is. They are not all equal. The net, they are not all equal. So we'll now go ahead and trim the sleeve. You trim it depending on how you want it. But we're just going to do it like it is on the dress. So now, remember this was higher on the dress. This side is a bit curved. So all of this is just choice. It's choice. So I think this is okay. This should be longer than this. I could still reduce it a little, just so that this side can be more pronounced. So this is all. So now go ahead and attach this to the sleeve, to the dress. So you see, this will be like this. You're going to sew from here. You're going to sew on top of here till you get to this end here, making sure this doesn't show. Let me show you guys. Do you remember the line I marked? I'm just going to follow the line. You're still going to sew on that place you sew the first time. You're not sewing any other place. That place, you're going to still top stitch on that place. You see how close I'm sewing to the neckline, so it doesn't show. So this will go in. This is the lining. This will go in. You will now be left with this. So see, this is how it should be. So when you are joining the lower bodies now, you're going to join to this place. So this will be sewn in. You understand? Please, when you are sewing, use a matching color thread. I used white instead of this color. That's why it's showing. So now the next thing I'll do now is to turn this sleeve, turn this armhole. After attaching this, I'm going to turn my armhole. So I went ahead to sew the armhole. I'm going to just look for. So now I'm trying to turn it out. After sewing the armhole, I'm trying to bring it out from the back. This is just to achieve a neat finishing. So you see, I've turned it out. So I'm going ahead to turn it inside out. I mean the armhole after joining. Remember I ran my thread round in here. So I'm going ahead to turn it inside out. So this part of the dress is ready. So exactly what I did here will be replicated on the other side, but I won't be doing it because I do have the net, and this is just for someone that asked how this is done. So this is how it is. So it is as simple as you can see. See, this is the back side. This is the zipper. See, this is still normal like the way you sew. There's still armhole in it. Don't think there's no armhole. There is. There's a sleeve. Sit here. So we now go ahead now and join here, as you always do for side measurement. Okay, this is enter. So you see, this is going to be covering it. So you feel there's no sleeve, but there is. If you have enough net, it is advisable to gather, make it very full. So you see, this is how it is done. I don't know this. I think this is. Okay, let me just turn here because there's nothing to sew on this side. But let me just turn it and show you. This is it. Anything you do here is what you do here. So I went ahead to join the side so it will look more like it. So you can see the dress still has a sleeve. You see, this is how it is. But when you're making yours, make sure your net is more, as in make it very full before you gather it. Then this side, like I said, I don't have net again. So guys, I hope you understand. I hope you can do this. I hope you subscribe. I hope you watch till the end. And see, it still has a zipper. This is it. This is how it is. There are no two ways about it. You can make yours longer, shorter, anyhow you want. You can decide to make your net 6 inches. You can decide to make it 7 inches. But I used 5 here. Then I still trimmed. Then make sure your net is very full, so you don't have to show all of this. This is from the piece I had before. I just said let me use it so it will be relatable. The bow, I just went ahead to measure out 3.5 by 5. 3.5 by 5. So now I'm going to sew round, then gather just like we do bows. Gather and attach here. You can see. So guys, after turning out, I just gathered it just like we do bows. So this is supposed to be attached after you have joined this to your lower bodice. I have a video on how this is attached. I have a video on how the lower bodice of this dress is made. So after joining it to the lower bodice, you now go ahead and use this to tack on exactly where this ends. You tack it there on both sides. You do this for both sides. I hope I'm understood. Tack this here and you tack this here. Thank you guys.